Welcome to Ingredient Insiders. I'm John Magazzino.
And I'm Andrea Parkins.
Thanks for watching this clip of our interview with Paul Kahan and Matthias Merges.
For the full episode, find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Links in the description below.
Cabbage.
Let's go right
Let's
into
do
cabbage.
it.
Okay.
I mean, you're
we can talk
itching, I can tell.
Yeah, totally.
We could talk forever.
Okay, so why did you want to talk about cabbage? I know it's the vegetable of 26, but it goes deeper than that.
It's a common denominator. It's like you can't go wrong with cabbage. It speaks to everyone in all cultures, and I think it's like the most versatile. It's like you can have it raw, you can have it fermented, you can have kraut, you can char it, you can grill it. It's crazy.
For me, like Matthias is like I said, we cook together all the time. He's an unbelievable technician and chef. And I'm like a friggin' hack. And so for me, cabbage is so awesome because you can burn it.
Yes.
And it tastes
And it tastes
delicious.
good.
It's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
You said it. I mean, it's universal. It's inexpensive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different varietals.
Mm-hmm.
Pork belly used to be inexpensive too. So now maybe with this 26 cabbage thing, it's going to be $20
I
a
know.
head.
I've been thinking about that.
There's only a few people in this world that made pork belly like super famous, and I'm sitting next to one of them right now.
Yeah.
So I blame him for the price of pork belly.
Thanks, dude.
But should we run through our favorite cabbage
Well, I
dishes?
was going to say,
how do you want to do this?
What are early cabbage memories
Yeah,
for you
that's a good
guys?
idea.
Or was there? When did you get the cabbage bug and?
Yeah, we pre-podcast, we were talking about delis and sweet and sour cabbage soup. And I don't know if you go to a New York deli, if you can get sweet and sour cabbage soup.
Still
but
exists.
It's not what you would think of. And the recipe that I started off with, family and at a couple of my jobs where I was in charge of making soup, was cabbage and tomato and apple and brown sugar and caraway seeds and all those things together. Just think about those flavors, and it just sort of creates a lot of depth of flavor. It's like fat.
Deliciousness.
And there's not a lot of fat in there.
Yeah.
You don't need bacon. It just, I don't know. It's pretty perfect. Delicious.
I think cabbage carries flavors.
No doubt.
There's something about it. It can lift things up. It just it almost, or if you're thinking about it like an orchestra, like the music, it's like the background notes, right? And then all the other flavors can sing.
I mean, for me, it's a textural thing as much as
so
it
you
is
like it
everything
more
else.
crunchy?
I like it always, but crunchy for sure.
Yeah.
Like any kind of raw preparation.
Yep.
Amazing. But then braised, stuffed with.
I love it.
For me, we were talking about fine dining, and I'll go the first time in any of my restaurants that I ever really cooked cabbage was at Blackbird in the early days. I was sort of obsessed with stylizing a traditional dish like choucroute. And we made these little, we call them chubbies, these little Thuringers that had an amazing snap to them, like a perfect nugget of sausage on the plate. And you start by making the sauerkraut, and we would alternate when we could get golden turnips, which are another not a vegetable that you see a lot.
Yeah.
Makes incredible sauerkraut. Yeah. But we just shave it and put a juniper berry and a bay leaf in there and leave it out at room temperature, cover it up in the storage room, and then we would take that awesome kraut and braise it with smoked ham hocks that we would make, or a ton of different stuff. And I actually remember eating that braised cabbage with the ham hock and some walnut mustard, and I was like, this is the greatest freaking combination of flavors I've ever tasted in my life. But anyways, and then we would just do a very stylized version, obviously smaller portions, but sort of the same things that they do in Alsace, and just kind of blew. We'd make homemade mustard, and that would be on the plate, and the sauerkraut and the little meat, and it just blew people's minds. It's not what you'd expect.
It sounds like a love letter to your heritage.
I love that.
Big time.
Yeah.
My last trip, I went to Paris in December. I'd never been to Alsace. I told Lauren, because it was around Christmas time, I really want to go. There's Christmas markets in Strasbourg. I had no interest in the Christmas markets. I wanted to go and have choucroute garni in the birthplace, essentially, of that. And we went, and oh God, it was insane.
You were texting me pictures.
Yes, I will travel for cabbage.
Yes.
Go in there in June for my 60th birthday.
Oh, are you
sure.
amazing?
Yeah.
You youngster.
I know. Can you believe it?
Do you feel like, I don't know, I grew up in the 80s, 90s, and my mom used to make, she was constantly on the cabbage soup diet.
That was a diet, yeah.
It
Yes.
where that I would come into the house, I can smell it from school, and it would just be for like 4 days
Yeah.
of cabbage. Do you feel like that
Did
maybe
that turn you off?
Yes.
Do you like cabbage?
I love cabbage.
Okay, so
but
it didn't ruin you.
when I was in, that time frame, I didn't like it because it was like gross. Like my mom would make us dinner and then she would sit there with her bowl of cabbage soup. I feel like it kind of got this bad rap during that period of time because it was diet food.
Yeah.
But then I'll eat it any which way you want.
It's
but
the
I mean, how
vegetable-
many restaurants do you go in now, and the vegetarian option is a big chunk of hard roasted cabbage and
cabbage steak
with
or whatever.
whatever, and it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my grandmother, so my parents, they came from a really small coal mining town in Pennsylvania, northeast, and they're Polish, German roots.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother would make sauerkraut, put it in a barrel, put it in the basement. And she would make the stuffed pigeons, they would call them, the size with like the rice and the ground meat and wrapped in cabbage. Yeah. So we had cabbage all the time when we were growing up. And, just thinking about kind of like the history of immigrants coming over, and they had no money. They worked in the mines 7 days a week, and they were like cabbage, potatoes, and maybe they get a piece of pork to go with it. Mm-hmm. And that carries through. And I think I have a soft spot in my heart about kind of like, maybe that's why I like getting these common vegetables and trying to elevate them to a place of stature where they belong.
I got a question for you, Matt.
Okay, what is it?
At that time, is that when you learned about the squab head?
It is.
What's a squab?
What is it?
It's a long-running
It's a
joke with
long-
us.
long
All these
joke.
dinners that we cooked together, we were doing a barbecue at a home in Napa someone had bought. And we just, put this meal together, and Matthias got some squabs and was doing squabs, and he set the heads aside and split them. And at the same
So you
time,
can eat the brains.
he was grilling squab heads, and I was grilling these giant chunks of porchetta, and we were sharing a Weber grill, and he was boxing me out. Like my porchetta started to flare up, and he's like, I'm like, let me over there, and he's like turning his squab heads with the tweezers and boxing me out. So it's been an ongoing joke of ours forever.
right,
I
squab
said,
head.
dude, don't squab head me.
That's so funny. As we're talking about this, I'm trying to think, is there a part of the world that doesn't love cabbage?
I feel
Asia, you've got it. Kimchi is the first thing that comes to my
Well,
mind.
here's an interesting fact about China is the largest producer of cabbage, and they own 50%
Did you look
of
that
all
up before we
cabbage.
got here?
Actually, I did.
Yeah,
Did
it's good.
ChatGPT tell you that, or
No, this one on the Google. 50% of all cabbage grown is Chinese and grown in China, which I didn't know.
And I feel like that's where my cabbage love started, with the delis and like good coleslaw.
coleslaw?
Yes.
Really good. Like when coleslaw is made fresh somewhere,
Mhm.
I hone in right in it. And it could be New York, could be
Poppy
Iowa, could
seeds?
be anywhere. Sure.
Yeah.
Not opposed.
Are you a mayonnaise cabbage guy?
I know what I don't like
German?
is
Or
I can
vinegar.
smell it a
Vinegar
mile
based?
away.
Spicy
I like
vinegar
it all-
slaw?
Yeah.
I like all of it, except when I get industrial coleslaw.
Yeah,
that you
sweet.
can
It's sweet.
taste
It's
that
too sweet,
tangy,
watery.
sweet, shitty.
Blah.
It looks like mayonnaise
good.
soup.
Yes.
No
It's
good.
like
The thing about cabbage that kind of drives me nuts. So we're talking about cabbage, and like things are popping in my mind. I'm like, cabbage and wild mushrooms, or cabbage and black trumpets. Yeah. All this stuff's just popping in my head. It's such a great vehicle for flavor, and honestly, I'm not lying to you guys. I make cabbage as a side dish for whatever my wife and I are eating, at least once a week, and sometimes twice. Yeah. When I see a good head of cabbage, or in the season when I pull those beautiful cylindrical ones out of the garden, a little smaller, but I wedge them. I sear the living shit out of them in a pan in oil, olive oil. Season them with this salt that I use, Kahan salt. It's from, you guys know Lior in
Yeah, of
Labois?
course.
Yeah,
He's
great,
been on
great,
this
He's been on the
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah,
great pal of mine.
Labois,
Yeah.
yep.
Kahan, it's fennel seed, fennel pollen, orange, but mostly salt. And then I pop the pan in the oven, right, until they just are starting to loosen up and get a little tender. And then I throw in rings of shallot. I throw in a shit ton of really good butter.
I was to say you need a
And
knob
I
of
throw in
butter
another
in there.
Lior spice called coquelicot, which is tons of poppy seeds, a little bit of mustard seed, a little bit of, I don't know what else. He can't tell you, it's secret.
Top secret.
He'd say, "What do you want, my American Express card?" That's his line. And a squeeze of lemon juice, and it is incredible. Like char and complexity and nuttiness, and cabbage and hazelnuts.
I'm
or
taking
cabbage
notes.
and
I'm taking
I'm
mental,
salivating.
I'm
There's
taking
so
mental
much
notes right
Yes.
now
Yeah.
because lately I've just been like shredding it, chopping it up, putting it in the oven, tossing it with olive oil, and just letting it go in the oven until it gets brown, crispy.
It's easy.
Some of it's still green and soft.
Yeah.
And just eat it all together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love?
By the way, that recipe is in my second cookbook, Cooking for Good Times. Just a tireless.
A little plug there.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah,
Yep.
just throwing it out there.
You
And it's with a braised pork shoulder and Nefla, which is the Alsatian name for Spätzle. And it's a good recipe, maybe my favorite one in the whole book.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Ingredient Insiders.
You can find the products we discussed on today's episode at chefswarehouse.com or your favorite specialty retailer.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Ingredient Insiders and Chef's Warehouse at Where Chefs Shop.